Hello everyone. Just we have seen the experimental reagents which are required, as well as just we have seen the procedure and how to perform the corresponding experiment. That steps we have seen, and now we will see how to perform the corresponding experiment of alkalinity. Actually, we will going to see the practical demonstration of this corresponding experiment. And just we have discussed in the session, that is reagents required as well as the procedure of this test. As per the reagents required, these are nothing but the list of reagents which are required for this test, and that reagents are nothing but, first is nothing but the H2SO4, that is concentrated H2SO4 required, and that normality of that H2SO4 is nothing but 0.02 normal. Okay, how we have prepared this 0.02 normal solution? We have taken the concentrated H2SO4 available in our laboratory, most dangerous chemical in the laboratory everywhere, that is nothing but the H2SO4, and that 98% H2SO4 concentrated H2SO4 we have diluted and we have reduced its normality up to 0.02 normal, and we have prepared this water with the help of H2SO4 concentrated plus addition of the distilled water at different concentration. We have prepared this solution, and this solution I am going to fill in the burette, and this is known as the titrant. Now we are knowing the titrant. Then next thing is nothing but two chemicals are required, or two indicators are required, as it is two-stage titration. First indicator is nothing but, that is the value just we have discussed, that X which I want to denote, that is nothing but endpoint after using this first type of indicator or first indicator in at the starting of this corresponding experiment. And in the first half part of this experiment we will be using this indicator, and that first indicator is nothing but I have taken, it is nothing but the phenolphthalein indicator that I have taken. Then after performing the titration with the phenolphthalein indicator, let's see color change occurs or not. And second type of indicator we will going to use in the second stage of this experiment, and that second stage of this experiment is nothing but the second indicator we will going to use, and this is nothing but the methyl orange indicator. And now we will require what? We will require a sample, and the sample is nothing but I have taken a tap water sample of your environmental engineering laboratory, because we are dealing with the drinking water in this same, hence I have taken the tap water sample. You may take different sample from different sources of the water. You may take from the water from the river source, you may take the water from the lake source, you may take the water from the sea, you may take the water from the tube well, various sources, or any construction site water you may take, and you may check the alkalinity of the water. Or if the people are using that source of the water particularly for the drinking purpose, then you should also state that the water is drinkable or not. But when after you have performed the corresponding procedure of this experiment, we have discussed, or I have shown you the two indicators and one titrant that is required, that is H2SO4. Now we will see what are the apparatus required. This is nothing but, all of you are knowing, this is nothing but the burette, and in this burette we will going to fill out this corresponding titrant, that is concentrated, 0.02 normal H2SO4 we will going to fill out in this corresponding burette. And next type of the apparatus required, that is nothing but, always we have to use the funnel directly. It is the general procedure when you are going to perform the experiment in the drinking water or wastewater or any laboratory which deals with the water and wastewater. First you have to fill the burette with the distilled water, and you have to clean the burette. That you have to do, because previously which student or either faculty or any person has performed the experiment on the burette, we are not knowing. And if it is for the previous same or 15 days ago, if we have used the different experiment, then different titrant he may use. Hence first and foremost important thing is that you have to correspondingly clean the burette first. With the help of the funnel, you are going to place it at the top, and this funnel, if after placing at the top, okay, in this manner, placing the funnel at the top, you are going to pour the corresponding quantity of the first distilled water. Then you have to just open this knob and you have to clean this corresponding burette particularly before starting the corresponding experiment. Hence I use this corresponding funnel. I am going to take the reference of this funnel. Do not directly pour the corresponding titrant or distilled water, or spillage may occur, or what we can say, spillage may occur due to this corresponding precaution which I have not taken. Now we will see what I have taken. I have taken the sample, that is nothing but the tap water sample I have taken, and that tap water sample, as we have discussed in the procedure, just I have explained this corresponding procedure. In the procedure we have seen that tap water sample we have taken, and how much volume of the sample we will take. We will take 25 ml of the sample. For taking 25 ml of the sample, I have used this corresponding measuring cylinder, and it is having marking till 25 ml, means it is accurate one, and this is nothing but the conical flask in which I am going to perform the corresponding titration. Now I have introduced to you with the help of actual demonstration that what are the reagents required actually, what are the indicators required actually in order to perform the experiment, and just I have explained to you what are the apparatus which are required in order to perform this corresponding experiment. Let us see directly the demonstration of this corresponding experiment. Now, as per the step number 1, what is the step number 1? Take 25 ml of sample in a corresponding conical flask, and you have to use that sample and you have to further do the titration. In stage 1, first you will use the phenolphthalein indicator. First I will transfer 25 ml of the corresponding volume of the tap water which I have taken from our environmental engineering laboratory. (25 ml) volume I have taken in this measuring cylinder. Now I am going to transfer this content. Now I am going to transfer this corresponding content. Now I am going to transfer this corresponding content to the conical flask, 25 ml volume of the sample. Okay, means sample preparation is done, but one important thing that I have to fill the burette with the help of the titrant which I have prepared, and conical flask I am going to place it at the top. Just a minute. I will be keeping conical flask at the top, and I will going to show you. First we have to see that extra water is coming or not from the bottom. I will be adding the titrant. In this case we have used the concentrated espresso pour, that is 0.02 normal. I will be adding this titrant. Air bubble you have to remove, and you have to adjust this to the actual 0 mark or topmost mark. Here you are able to observe that is 0 mark. From here the readings of x or y we will going to take it as a reference, and these readings are helpful for us in order to perform the calculation. Extra or excess water you have to remove, and till the 0 mark you have to keep the level of the water. Till the 0 mark you have to keep the level of the water. I have kept the level of the water up to 0 mark. Oh, it is not water, sorry, it is nothing but the titrant. Now work of the titrant is over. Now next step is nothing but, we will see the next step. Next step is nothing but, here in this sample conical flask I have taken what? I have taken the tap water, and first stage of titration I am going to perform, and with the help of first stage of titration I am going to get the value of capital X. But when after using the indicator in the first stage of titration, that is nothing but the phenolphthalein indicator. First I will use this indicator. I will add 2 drops of the phenolphthalein indicator, and I am going to observe color change occurs or not. Here, as you all are able to see that here there is no any color change which has occurred. Hence, in this case, first stage of titration reading is 0. There is no any used to start the bottom plug and to get the reading. Why? Because there is no any color change occur. Means indirectly we will get the judgment that pH of the water is not greater than 8.3. pH of water is not greater than 8.3. Hence, we have not got the corresponding pink color in this corresponding first stage of titration. Hence, if pink color is obtained, then we will directly go for the titration, and pink to colorless, that is nothing but the simply endpoint that we will going to perform. But in this case, there is no any significance or there is no any necessity to perform the titration. Why? Because after adding 2 drops of the phenolphthalein indicator, I have not obtained the color change. Now next step is nothing but I am going to move towards the second stage of titration. This indicator I am going to keep aside because work of this indicator is completed. Now I am going to take the second indicator which is used in the second stage of this corresponding titration. Hence, why it is a unique titration? Because at the time you are going to use 2 indicators, we are not going to change the sample. You are able to see that I have kept the sample same. I have not done any change in the corresponding sample. Directly I have taken the sample, I have checked for the phenolphthalein indicator, but color change has not occurred. Hence I have not performed the corresponding titration. Now I am going to take the reference of second indicator, that is MO indicator, that is methyl orange indicator. I am going to take, and we will going to see color change occurs or not, and then we will going to perform the titration. I am adding these 2 drops of methyl orange indicator as a part of second stage of titration. After adding the 2 drops of this corresponding methyl orange indicator, you are able to observe that yellow color has developed. I will show you because you may see transparent. With the help of white paper, I will show you the color. Now the color obtained is nothing but the yellow color is obtained. Now this yellow color is obtained. That yellow color is obtained means pH of that water is below the 4.3, or it is slightly acidic in nature. Hence we have to perform this titration. We have got one clue in this corresponding experiment that first stage phenolphthalein alkalinity is absent. When we use the phenolphthalein indicator, no any color change is observed, but in this corresponding second stage we have observed this corresponding color change, that is nothing but the yellow color we have obtained. Now what is the next? Next is nothing but we have added 2 drops of this corresponding methyl orange indicator. In the burette, titrant is there, that is H2SO4 is there, and we will going to titrate this corresponding sample with the H2SO4, and we will going to get the final color change, and the value I am going to write down as a final result, and that value is nothing but what? In this case, X value is already 0 because we have not got any result. Color change, pink color has not obtained. Directly I am going to, in this case I am going to get the value of the color change. That still I am talking, but still we have not performed the titration. We have just added the corresponding indicator methyl orange. Half stage or half part of the second stage of titration with the help of second indicator is completed, and now I am going to do the corresponding titration. What I have added, 2 drops of methyl orange indicator I have added with the help of this corresponding titrant H2SO4. I am going to do the corresponding titration, and carefully you have to do the titration, and within the 2 drops only, within these 2 drops only, I have obtained this corresponding color change. I have obtained this corresponding color change. It is nothing but the orange color I have obtained. This is nothing but the orange color I have obtained as a end point, and the reading I have got from this titration, that is nothing but 0.4 ml. 0.4 ml of corresponding water is consumed, and we have got the corresponding reading, and we have got the final reading as a end point, that is nothing but the Y. Now we will see with the help of one chart I will show you how to perform the corresponding calculation, and Y value for our experiment is 0.4 ml. We will see and we will perform the corresponding titration. Okay, let's wait for a minute. I will search another sample and we will check that sample alkalinity is present or not. I have brought this sample, that is nothing but the another sample. We will perform the test with the help of this sample, and this sample is nothing but the dairy wastewater sample. And in this dairy wastewater sample, just I will clean the flask. I have cleaned the conical flask. And same procedure, but dairy wastewater sample. I think last year students are having one project on the wastewater, in that they have worked on the dairy wastewater, dairy effluent, and that sample I have taken. Fortunately this is available in our lab, and I am going to take directly 25 ml of this dairy wastewater sample. We are going to check in this case alkalinity is present or alkalinity is absent. 25 ml sample I have taken. I have poured this sample into this conical flask. Next stage is nothing but first stage of titration. I am going to add 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Color change I have obtained, no color change I have obtained. Then second stage of titration, that is second indicator, we are going to use x is equal to 0 and 2 drops of this indicator methyl orange. Again I have obtained. You are able to observe here that yellow color I have obtained. I am going to do the titration. .4 and now it comes out to be 1.2, means 0.8. In similar readings I have obtained, that is 0.3 ml of volume is consumed, and I have got the second reading. Now we will take the reference of both this reading and we will perform the corresponding calculation. I will show you the calculation part with the help of one chart, and I will show you that the results, the procedure which we have followed, and after getting the results, with which we have to compare, or with which agency, with which IS code we have to compare the result, and what are the corresponding permissible limit. Thank you everyone for this corresponding attending this corresponding experiment of alkalinity. We will see the corresponding readings, observation, and how to use the two reading and our observations we have got. We have not got the value of x directly, we have obtained it as 0. We have got the value of y in both the corresponding samples. One sample I have taken, that is tap water. Second sample I have taken, that is nothing but the dairy wastewater, and we will see how to perform the corresponding calculation. Thank you very much for attending this laboratory session of alkalinity of water, determination of alkalinity of water. Thank you once again. I will ending up this corresponding practical demonstration. Thank you.